Okay, so in this video we're going to take a look at analysing the result of the first pass at the overlay design and using that then as a guide to create our final design geometry for our finished overlay design. Okay, so first of all what we want to do is we want to display the result. So the first pass corridor surface, the one that you see the contours and slope arrows on there in the screen, we want to display that on our long section. So I'm going to select our alignment in plan, click on surface profile, add in our first pass corridor surface. Okay, and I'm just going to change the style of it here to addition surface 1 or something like that, and just click OK. And it should then get added to our long section down here. Okay, so the green is our existing ground, and then the blue is the first pass profile. Okay, and for the most part you can see there that it appears to be relatively uniform depth or height above the existing profile until you come to something like this here. Okay, we're coming along the road, we've got steady enough depth of overlay material going on the road, and then it jumps up dramatically from one section to the next. Okay, and this is one of the main reasons that you need to do the first pass and treat it as a first pass only, is because Civil 3D the overlay tool has produced this kind of result. So basically at this cross section it's analysing the high point, applying its criteria, its minimum depth, the high point, and so on. And then at the next section here, there's a big jump up because the high point is probably there's a localized high point at this location or at this series of locations. That means that the amount of material going on the road here is a lot greater than the preceding section. So it's not the corridor isn't looking to the preceding or succeeding sections to kind of do any sort of analysis on creating a smooth profile. Okay, so this kind of a profile, the blue that we're looking at there, is bad both from a sort of drive quality point of view. So as the drivers are driving along this, obviously this is going to feel quite a bump to them. And the other thing that's a problem here is that this creates a low point on the road that could result in ponding. So if we just look at that location there on the cross sections 280, 290, those that kind of change, you can kind of see what's happening. So at 280 here we've got sensible enough depths of material, and then as we move to 290 there's kind of the high point on the existing road is way over on the right hand side, so it's applying its minimum depth there, and then the cross fall out from that, and you're getting a lot of material on the left hand side, and it's pushing up the centerline profile as well from that. Okay, and also it's in super elevation at that point as well, which isn't helping. Okay, so what we need to do then is we need to smooth out these kind of issues on the profile. Now that first pass profile that we're looking at there, the blue one, that's being created obviously from a corridor surface, so it's not easily edited in itself. So really the only sensible way to create a smoothed profile is to manually draw a new profile. Now you can break the link. You can break the link in this with this profile. So in here in profile properties, you can basically break the link with the corridor surface and make it static, so that you could then go and manually edit the IP points. But from my own experience, I found it easier to go and create a new profile from scratch. Okay, so I'm going to draw a new profile over this. I'm going to call this as our N70 smoothed profile. And basically I'm just going to draw a series of straights Okay, snapping to the first pass profile geometry points. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just fire ahead and do this. So we're just tracing over it for the most part until we get to areas like we have at section change 280, 290, and at those locations. Okay, I'll just show you how to get there. Okay, so I'll just trace over it first and keep going, and we'll come back and edit it then. Okay, so I would continue that out right until the end, but I'm just not going to do it here for the video. But what you would do then is after you've traced over it, we'll come back to these locations where you want to smooth out the profile. And what we can do is we can raise or lower the IP points as necessary. Okay? And you can remove those kind of dips. Now I'm just obviously just dragging that there. I'm not being sort of very accurate about the amount I'm raising it or lowering it. But if you wanted to, what you could do is turn on your dynamic input, which is that one there, and when you click on the IP points then to edit them, okay, you can see the level in the background. Okay, and in my case there it's a little bit hard to read, so what you could also do is open up this little dialog box here, use this button to pick an IP point, click near the IP point, and you can then manually type in the level difference that you want. So let's say I want to raise it by 60 mil there. If I just type in my 990 in this case, and that'll raise it up for me. Okay, so that's basically the workflow for creating your smoothed profile. There's no probably no need to go trying to create or define proper curves, vertical curves on the alignment. Remember that as you're looking at it here, there's 5 times by default anyway in the profile view that I'm using, there's 5 times the vertical exaggeration. So you know, while it might look like quite a dip there, in reality it probably isn't that bad, but it still needs to be smoothed out. Okay, so in the next video then we will I'm just going to complete the rest of this profile, and then we look at some other ways of tweaking and editing the design. Okay.